Hello, and welcome to Smiley's. Tonight, we'll be discussing Assail, the sixth book in the novels of the Malazan Empire. We are doing the first 7 chapters tonight. I am joined by Mora. Hello, Mora.
Hi, Lee.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm fine. I'm great. How are you?
I am slightly sick. I think it might sound my voice, but no worries. Persevere. So, how fare you tonight? How fares the book, more importantly?
The book is pretty great. So you're rereading, and I'm reading this for the first time.
Yep.
So I'm having a great time. Like, it's just going so fast. I'm glad we're sitting down today, because another few days and I would have finished it. How are you liking it?
So, I think, kind of unlike Blood and Bone, Assail is a lot faster by design. It does start off slower because, there's a whole boat and gearing up thing, but overall it is a bit faster. It's also smaller. I think you noticed. It's like the second smallest after Night of Knives. I like the pacing a lot. It's a great palate cleanser, I guess, after the slow slogginess that was Blood and Bone, because having two slow and introspective books back to back, all the Hounds of Dreams, is a bit difficult for readers. So I personally quite like. I like Assail on my first read was my favorite, I think, and I can see why.
But you really can't compare Blood and Bone type of, it's not a slog.
It's not a
I
fair
didn't
comparison.
find it
Yeah.
a slog.
I,
Toll the Hounds is a slog by design,
yeah, I didn't say
isn't it?
Blood and Bone wasn't a slog by design. I didn't say that was a bad thing. I'm just saying it was a slow novel, and Assail isn't.
No, fine. Yeah, whatever.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Right. What do you want to talk first?
You tell me. I mean, I've read the book. I know probably what happens, but what interests you most?
Yeah, I think you won't be surprised. It's Shimmer and Bars, Shimmer and Iron Bars. Did that guy actually stay quiet for like 100 years? 100 years of everyone being together, and he's kept quiet. I'm very impressed because
Mm-hmm.
at some point Shimmer even thinks that he's so exhausting because he's so emotional and all that. Poor Bars. So I don't know. I don't know how you can say that he's not your favorite A word at all. Like
I mean,
he's not, isn't it?
I'm not counting him because it's like the obvious choice. I don't want to make the obvious choice, Like, oh yeah, bars, but there's also these guys. But it's bars because. So yeah, I mean, Bar is definitely up there. He's a very great character, but he's also, I think he's like one of the very few Avowed that were created solely for the books,
Oh,
and it shows. But it shows in the regard that like he was stranded in a completely different continent for the entire book, as far as like everyone else was concerned, and so Steve kind of had free reign to introduce him because oh yeah, he just escaped there and went to the other shithole continent which they haven't been to. So yeah, and then I think Cam does a remarkable job of integrating into the story properly because well, Stonewheeler happened and that sucked, but there is
yeah.
there's definitely a sense of familiarity between them, even though he was stranded. He was like not even like Shimmer's the commander, Calburn's the commander. Like the important Avowed are commanders. Bars is just like a captain of sorts. Like he's a commander of a blade, but he's not a particularly important Avowed in the sense of the command structure. But he still feels important because he's like the staunch, um, strong-willed individual.
Yeah.
And then Shimmer comes along and is like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go to him. Um, so do you want to tell me more about Shimmer and Bars before I get to my
Oh no, I
thoughts
just
on it?
wanted to ask you who
Yeah,
is your favorite award?
I mean I told you before it's Shimmer, but you'll see why later. I think
We'll see why. I think we already know why.
it's not what you think it is.
Really, it's not because she's like half Napan or anything,
It's not because half Napen or anything. No.
right? No, I don't have much to say about them as of now. Like, but the thing is, I find it hard to believe that they've been undead, rather undead or long-lived for all these years, and they've not hooked up. I find it hard to believe all of them. Like there's what some 40 people remaining. I find it really hard to believe that. Whatever. But then, yeah, what the way Shimmer feels that she doesn't feel anything, isn't it? So, how long have they all been not feeling anything for
I
who
mean,
knows?
this motif isn't the first. This isn't the first time the motif comes up. If you recall, there's like Shimmer in Stonewielder. There's Shell. I think about this. Like, holy shit! I've been in a mercenary company too long.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
Why
like
didn't I think of, having children and things like that, isn't it?
gold
Yeah.
professionalism. Like they're professional individuals. They're not like I'm gonna go fuck my commander or whatever because it's fun. Shimmer is the only person that seems to actually actively do these things. Like there's Skinner, who she was involved with. There's Kaz, who she loves. Now Bars.
There was
Everyone
also
else is like professional.
Lorsen, isn't it? She's the one
Oh
who is
yeah,
never
Laura
without a
also.
boyfriend.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's also like
And
Metal and
Mara is
Mara. Yeah.
completely in love with Skinner.
Yes.
There are a bunch of, I don't know, red blooded people. And I find it hard to believe that Shimmer and Blues didn't hook up all these years. So, so fine. But it was good for the story. It was good to read. And I'm happy for Bars. And oh God, I did not expect the. Now I know why you're called Iron Bars.
Somehow I
Right.
knew you were gonna bring that up.
I tweeted it also, so
I
obviously I
noticed.
was going to bring it up. So right, yeah, let's move on. There are other interesting things to talk about, isn't it? So what did you like? Is Old Bear the gentle giant of this book
I
we've been
wouldn't call him
having?
gentle, but yeah, sure.
I mean, he's a fine guy. He helps.
Definitely fine guy, yeah, sure, but he's also far from gentle. Like,
Then who is the gentle giant in this book? There's no one else.
yeah, there doesn't have to be one in every book.
See, every book has one gentle giant who finally dies, and there is one mystery tie standing.
I mean,
So
Ivan didn't die.
there was someone else in that book? Someone else died. Was it is Ivan Stonewielder?
Yes.
Yeah. So Greyman died.
Okay, fine. If you want to call Greymane a gentle giant, then yes,
So
sure, he died.
fine. People may not die, but there is always a gentle giant, isn't it? And there is always a mystery tie standing. So
Always. In every book.
yeah, every book has. Yeah. Maybe Night of Knives didn't have, and maybe OST didn't have. So the remaining four
OST had
books must have.
Orchid. If nothing else,
Oh,
OST had the one that like was the
that's
mystery
OST,
Andy.
isn't it? Orchid and Morn and everyone.
Yeah, like
Oh God,
okay,
yeah.
fine, whatever. We have Jethis in this book.
So my point stands. Yeah.
Alright, fine, whatever.
So yeah, this ice bloods. So I was right. They are jagged people. They are like descendants of jaggeds with like watered. So they all have canines, and obviously they're called ice blood. Like what else do you expect? They're not generic bloods. They're ice bloods. So they have to be jagged descendants, and they live on top of these mountains, and they have what do you call like small families and sort of isolated people. And also the old lady. I'm not going to pronounce any of these names. Sorry, you can just pipe in with the names. This old the old lady in that family. She's said to be having olive toned skin, isn't it?
Yep.
So I took that to mean as green. And they have a matriarch in a tower of ice. That has to be, yeah. What else can that be in a tower of ice? Elsa? It has to be jagged. Yeah, I thought you liked
Right.
that.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I guess so.
So she's the target, isn't it? At the end, that's where Lana's and the others are
Hmm.
heading to kill the matriarch because she is the source of all these other, dilute jaggeds or discount jaggeds who are called ice bloods, right? So, and their home is called Jorgen Home or something.
Yeah.
Come on, yeah. And there's old man Winter who brings winter wherever he goes, right? So these are the people that Lanimas are trying to target,
Hmm.
isn't it? And this is what Pranchol has told us very clearly that they are outside the ritual. They are not jagged and we do not target them. But the Kerlum people are not happy with that. They want to kill even these fellows, isn't it? That's what I
Hmm.
thought.
Basically, yeah.
My doubt is Silverfox going through all these villages, pursuing them. Are all these villagers also ice bloods or are they like normal people?
So
Rafo?
yes, but also there is a scene which we see through the perspective of a child getting attacked, and his mother dies, and then the must come to him and it's like, should we kill
The
him? And
scent
they're like,
is less and
yeah,
goes away, isn't it? Oh, yeah, so
it's
they
basic.
are ice bloods. Yeah,
So
right. Okay. So that's what Silverfox. And can you just remind me, why are they not able to turn into dust and go? Why is like they
because
have to walk?
something is rebuffing them. The
Are we
entire
told?
continent is basically filled with Thomdo's magic.
Fine, fine. But I was, that was funny that Silver Fox is like, surprised. What do you mean we have to walk all the way? Right. Back to Silver Fox. Why is Belludan still there?
I was going to ask that too. I think the Dying God is meant to be a fragment of Belurden that she discarded. Alternatively, it's just there. Like,
Or what's her name? Aranatha, isn't it? The one who
yes,
gets possessed. Maybe she was just lying when she says this is Beludan and I discard him and all that. I
maybe.
mean, she didn't really discard him from the floor of the abyss, isn't it? The Redeemer
Yeah,
had to step in at the end.
yeah,
So
yeah,
maybe the whole thing was a lie and the dying god is just some rando.
yeah, maybe. Sure. No, yeah. I mean, we're getting into the age here, but yeah, maybe
We're getting into?
into the intricacies of narration into the hounds rather than Assail. But yeah,
Fine. Yeah.
maybe just crap making a point, but who knows?
What point is there to be made about saying that the dying god is from Beludan? There is no point.
I don't know. I didn't think about this until you brought this up. Anyway,
Let's. Okay, maybe by
so
part two, we might have
Silverfox in
some
this
thoughts.
book. Yeah, go on.
So Silverfox is good. She's fine. I feel bad for her. I already felt bad after rereading Memories of Ice because the first time I thought she's just being a stupid whatever. But now the second time, yeah, I could see what she was trying to do, and I felt bad. And now she's stuck here, and the tattoo sale guilt doesn't really leave her, isn't it? That's the main thing that's still keeping her.
Yes,
No,
it seems.
so it seems.
I think a lot of it is because she mentions a lot that she drained her mother and stuff, and it's a lot that Silverfox is like in 13 years, but she doesn't have that many years left, and so the burden that she needs to get this done now, or she'll die before she succeeds, and this will keep up in perpetuity, is really weighing down on her, regardless of if like it's Tattersail or not. And she also has Nightchill, who isn't really helping because Nightchill is just, well, as the name suggests, cold. And for all Nightchill really cares, keep them as pets because they're useful, you know. And Sail is much more, you know, collected and compassionate, I guess, but she is still not necessarily a great individual for this. Like, she is old enough to know better. You know, she has served under the old emperor while the emperor still used Atlan. She has seen the IMAs be used as like weapons of war and how effective they are. So why not keep them to do the same? Even not as much as Nightchill, but it's mostly Silverfox herself that is actively trying to stop the whole war business. Now, from where her guilt stems, I don't know. Maybe it is because of Sale. Maybe it's just
Oh, you're saying sale. I keep hearing a sale. Sorry.
yeah, my
Yeah.
bad. And there's also Pran, who is basically a living monument to her failure. That just
Mm-hmm.
won't leave her because he feels obligated to her in return. And then there's Kalava to rub it in her face further because Kalava is that kind of person.
I mean, she's not saying anything wrong, isn't it?
Yet.
Yet,
She did snap at her like, yeah, I'm not I what did she say? Like when they met outside the villages?
I mean, this is all your fault or something, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, it's like neither of them are ecstatic to see one another, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, so, so that was Silver Fox, and so this Lanas is a big liar, isn't it? From Memories of Ice.
Mm-hmm.
Lanas is a she, isn't it?
Yes.
I've been thinking, yeah, she. So she has lied her way through all this, and I don't know what she's up to. She thought these fellows will join her in fighting these rest of the ice bloods and all that. So yeah. What do you want to talk about next?
Hmm. Not sure.
All the ships? You want to cover
Sure.
all the
Let's
ships?
cover all the ships.
Yeah. So tell
So
me all the navigation terms you learned
I don't
by
even know
reading this
anymore.
book.
I mean, there are a few that I knew, like the whole, but like the bowsprit that you linked earlier, I had no idea what that was. There was a specific term for a static star used for navigation. I think it's like a polar star or something,
Polar star, yeah,
which
yeah.
was interesting. Uh,
No, that's the pole star, isn't it? That's quite.
No, I mean we have a specific star that we use like in the northern hemisphere, but specifically has that name. I didn't know it was like a general thing for these kinds of stars.
No, I think Venus is a. Okay, we can't quote me on this, but one of the planets is like the North Pole star and all that.
No, it's like it's a star in Ursa Minoris, which is one of the. It's a star, not a planet, basically. Venus is comes with the dawn, I think. So when it's dawn, you can see Venus very easily.
Oh my God! Wait,
Not it's static.
I shouldn't have questioned you. Okay. I'm getting distracted. Sorry. We'll come back. Right.
And there's a whole like navigation stuff. All the there's a lot of sailing terms in this book.
Yeah. 2 points to
From
starboard.
yeah, a
Yeah,
touch
I
like
love those.
a touch to sail, a touch more sail.
Yeah.
Like using poles to like disembark from. It's great. It's excellent.
Isn't it?
And it's
Yeah.
very tense. Like at the end of chapter 7, it was like very tense. The scene where like
Yeah.
Ruth and the lady's luck are trying to make it through the narrows.
Yeah.
That was fucking tense. I was
No,
like,
both the narrows passages were really amazing, isn't it? I think
yep,
chapter 3 had, and then again we go to the same thing in chapter 7.
yep.
They're both amazing. And yeah, I did not pick up that pirate ship which was following them was these guys,
Hmm.
the Crimson Guard guys. So that was fun. Uh, did you look up what is a rudder? A pilot's rudder?
I think I know what that is, but I've not looked it up now.
No, it's just the maps and things which they chart as they make as they make their voyage. They chart out the things, their route.
Hmm.
So, so yeah. Do you remember in Night of Knives, the first ship we see,
Rennie's
Rennie's
dream.
dream?
Yeah,
Yeah. So the woman is tied to the main mast, isn't it?
yeah. Hmm.
Like she's dead and she's tied there. Sort of. I was thinking of the same thing when I was reading about Jute and Eileen, because it's the same way. There's a captain and his wife on ship, and
Right.
and she's going to die anytime now. She's all
Why would
she's
Eileen
already.
die?
I
No.
don't see her surviving this book. Sorry.
Jesus.
But yeah, isn't it amazing that she's blind and she's just like smelling the waves or something and able to guide them all? I think that was very nice. I like this type of magic systems.
Hmm.
What did you think of Eileen and Jude?
They are probably like my second or third favorite couple in the entire Malazan world.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah. Jude is
like
amazing.
they're up there like Torvald and Tessera, or like
Yeah.
I don't know who else would there be up there. There's a bunch that
For
are
me, it is
good.
Kilara and
Like, I
Barathol.
like
Who
Fleur
else?
and Barathol, I like Picker and Blend, I like these, but I think Jute and Yellen are up there.
Hmm.
Well, I'll leave you to that because you said she's gonna die, so maybe if she dies,
So because you're going to
loses
you
points.
are rating them so high, so yeah. So Eileen and Jude survive, right?
Okay, fine.
Right.
I
What?
didn't say anything. I didn't say they necessarily survive. I'm just saying.
Yeah, so let's go through all the ships. Do you remember all the names?
So there's a Sea Strike from Captain Burrell, who is the first ship that enters the Red Sea.
Yeah. Is that the first one?
Well, the first one that we see, not necessarily like the first one.
Yeah, but he's the one who, yeah, he starts losing his crew. They all start throwing themselves overboard. And then he knives Carter on
Catherine,
crust
yeah, yeah.
of all the people.
By the way, is excellent. Like the entire sequence is excellently written.
Yeah.
Like when Wellen gets up and is like, "No, it wasn't us. Maybe it was you," and just jumps overboard, like looking sad. And then the guy just locks himself in the cabin for like 2 weeks or something, and then stabs Arthur in the gut and jumps off immediately. Like
Yeah.
that is how you sell horror. Like that is how you make it
I
so.
know, I know. I want like full blown horror. I don't want any more Malazan from him. I want to read more proper horror. No, that was pretty good.
Yeah, there's the latest luck, which we mentioned already, with Ruth and Tulan and Storval.
Salvor. Salvor?
Storv, Storval, I think.
Storval.
The
Yeah,
first name,
sorry.
who is
So they
a
kick
Mayor
out.
Galley. They kick out Kyle, who learned a.
Yeah, can we just circle back to one thing from Return of the Crimson
Okay, all
Guard?
right,
I
fine.
believe you had some
I
complaints
did
that
have some
yeah.
complaints that we shouldn't have seen Kyle learn how to swim in that book,
And the
and now
thing
it
is,
gets
you
brought
have
up like
actually
four
read
times.
Assail. No, I'm bringing it up for the first time here. So yeah, you have finished Assail, and after finishing Assail, you went back to Return of the Crimson Guard
I didn't
and complained for
remember.
a good while that why the hell am I reading about Kyle swimming?
I
It
didn't
comes up twice.
remember. More than twice. He leaps off the ship,
Yeah.
um,
Leon
and
asks
then
him,
Leon asks
to
him
swim.
if he can swim and stuff. Yeah, like
And yeah, and he sort of, he impresses Ruth that he can swim and all that. It's a valuable life skill, so
I
he has
don't
it. So
disagree that it's a lot of life skill. I'm just saying. But yeah, it's a particular rare and peculiar skill that he acquired during his time with the Crimson Guard, and
and it
then
was
he
important to read that sequence, and it's important that we learned all that.
yes, it
That
was
was good to
important to
read.
read that sequence. Yes, so you're right. I'm sorry. I should not have. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think we can move on.
So that's the lady's luck.
That was,
Then
yeah.
there's the supplicant, which is the Lady Orasen's ship, which is
Primogenatrix, yeah, Timal.
yep, Timmel Orasen, yep, which is a big unwieldy galleon with like two people on board, which permanently reeks of filth and death. And the priest on board keeps uh, goading Jude to come down.
Come
Like,
down, come down.
no, thank you very. I'll no thanks. Which
No,
is
so this
yep.
Timal, I did not know that she was supposed to be like this tall. She is nearly an ice blood, if you ask me. I mean, with the veil and all, that's what I thought.
Mm-hmm,
Maybe she trims her canines and keeps. I don't know.
mm-hmm,
She calls it home, isn't it? When she reaches Assail,
mm-hmm,
or when she reaches Mist, she calls it home.
mm-hmm,
And she's the only one who's like given passage. But then
mm-hmm.
she's like one of the thaumaturgs or something. And I thought that they were only present in Umrig. Umrig has a circle of,
Yes, that is true.
yeah,
They do have a struggle thaumaturgs, yeah.
and she's one of the sorcerers there. So I don't know. They're up to something, and for whatever reason she's here, and I
Mm-hmm.
have no idea. And so that's why they have this probably like corpses rowing the ship or something. Who knows? It has to be not well preserved ones because the
Presumably.
Silana, the other one. What's the other ship? The one with the headless tie standy. That never stank, isn't it?
Solanda, yeah, Solanda.
Cylinder, yeah, that never stank, yeah. Right? So that was supplicant.
Yeah, there's the Resolute, which is the Tivar Gandarian, by the way, is an excellent name.
I have no idea. I am not going to remember all that. I just know they are the blue shields.
They're the Blue Shields, and he is the Mortal Sword of
They
Tog.
come with their
Yep.
helmet under their arms, and that's all I can recognize.
I mean, when you introduce yourself as Mortal Sword of Tog, you know that like this guy's going to be important somehow.
No, but Tog is a retired god, so doesn't matter.
Right? Fine.
I'm sorry.
You know, when
You know
Fenner
what?
was a
You're sick.
retired god,
I'm not going to disagree today. Oh, what? Sorry.
when Fenner was a retired god, Brucalion was somehow worse. I guess. Fine.
I'm sorry. I'm wrong. You're right. Please go
There
on.
you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, I like Tivar. I mean, he's
What's the other guy's name?
I do not remember.
Fine. Fine.
It's
Yeah. Yeah.
he's
Yeah. No. No problem. No problem. That
I
it's
mean,
not
and
important.
yeah, I mean, there's more to Tiver later because he's basically like, this Timmel woman hired the Blue Shield as like an escort to Assail. So clearly she
But now
came
Timal
expecting
is with
trouble.
Cartheron, and
Yeah.
I'm shipping them. So
Oh.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, Eileen pretty much says that they have what? Why are you laughing?
Okay. I didn't expect that one.
Because Eileen says that those two have a lot to catch up and all that. So I thought, she's hinting at something. Am I reading into this too much?
Yeah, I mean, sure, no doubt they have a lot to catch up on, sure. And since we brought up Carther, and which brings us to the Ragstopper, which
Yeah,
is
which is more
a
rags than.
legendary vessel that is like at this point I don't even know how many Ragstoppers there have been because that vessel has supposedly sunk like 8 times.
No, I
I
think it's
don't
the
know.
same vessel
I don't
because
know if
the
it's the
guy
same one.
says
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
it's just rags now. I don't know how it's floating.
well, but it does. There's philosophy for you, which is an excellent quote, by the way. It's excellent,
Yeah.
exquisite. And we have Old Man Cartherin, who is like the Cartherin, apparently, because there are no more Cartherins. Like, should I
Yeah.
ask him if it's him or like, yeah, but how many do I really know? And then he asks him like, yeah, but how many do you actually know? Oh yeah, well that's fair.
Fair, yeah.
Um,
Right. So that was the Ragstopper, Resolute, Supplicant, Silver Dawn. Silver Dawn is Jude's
so we're done
ship,
with
isn't
Jude's
it?
trip, yes. Yeah,
So, that's it. We covered all the ships. Is
I
it all?
believe so.
Oh,
There's
no. We still
there's also
have
Male's Greetings, which is
Mail's Greetings. Why do we name it Mail's Greetings?
because once Male already gave his greetings once, he's not gonna give them again.
Yeah, yes. But then they abandon it, isn't it?
Yeah,
And capture the Lettery ship.
Yeah.
And then they abandon that and capture a pirate ship. Does a pirate ship have a name?
I think it's the same ship. It flies a Letheri flag, I think.
Okay.
It's the Genebakan pirates that are chasing after Ruth and the boys, but it's a Letheri ship that with the guard on top that like, takes
No,
them
but
along.
see, when Shimmer and Bars are busy, don't they capture another ship and they find out
Oh,
that
they
that
do.
is
Yes, they do. They do. Yeah,
Yeah, so that is a pirate ship, isn't it? That's where Blues comes on board.
probably.
Yeah. See?
See?
You need to focus
See?
on all these small details.
See? Yeah, exactly. You got me.
I'm, I'm sorry, you're sick. I shouldn't be doing this.
So
Um,
there
yeah.
are a lot of mentions of mail in this book. One of my
Mm.
favorites being like the captain of the ladies' luck just going, "Okay, row you bitches, or we're gonna die with mail tonight," which is
Yeah.
just excellent.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, I didn't notice that, we talk so much about male, correct?
I mean, they are sailors, and so it makes sense. There's a lot of sailor folklore behind gods of the sea, even in like real world, but especially when male is an actual deity in this world, it's probably much more important that they ward him off properly in case he gets any ideas. Because lest we forget that most of the elder gods were pretty into blood sacrifice before like Bog and Keruli became a thing.
Yeah. So these leathery ships which we see, which
Hmm.
are trying to like drown cars and all that, they're all flying under T-Hole the only, isn't it? It's still
They're
he's the king, isn't it?
He is, but this is a it's a private indenture. It's like a private venture, so it's
Private
not.
establishment.
Yes, they're.
Oh, that was a really good scene. You know, I like this
This is a
representation of
mine.
Letheras.
Yeah,
It's fine. It was very good.
this is a mine.
Yeah.
It's not mine. It's a mine. What in Hood's dead grasping hand could you possibly be mining here? Shit,
Yeah.
bird shit to be exact.
No, but he really meant it, isn't it? I thought he was
Yes,
just
that's
kidding, and
no.
no, it's actually
They're
they are.
definitely It's a whole thing where like Shimmer just tries to understand how much is this person acting, and eventually concludes that he's not acting at all, and he means everything.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
really believes that we cheated him out of the trial because magic or whatever. When he set
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
price like 100 peaks, which
100
is
peaks. Yeah. 1/10
mm,
of the economy. Yeah.
I think they hired T Hole to make 10 peaks in Midnight Tides, for instance, like Sharj and Rishar and the others,
3,
which
is
was
it? Okay.
already an absurd amount.
Yeah. Yeah.
So 100 peaks is like trillions. So.
No, but I like cars, the more I read cars, the more I start liking him. He's so detached, he's so like completely out of it. He doesn't care what's happening, and I don't know. But he's still impressive, isn't it? And that way we see everything through Shimmer, who is
Hmm.
like beyond irritated, but still, it's a lot of fun to see cars. And especially after the what do you call the flashback we see in the last book, where he's like the young dashing commander of all of them, isn't it?
Hmm.
So seeing him all detached and sort of lost, it's still fun.
I mean, to be fair, Kaz did dump them in this book to start off with.
In the sense,
They return to Stratum, and then Kaz
he
just left.
disappears.
He disappears. So.
Yeah, yeah. So the names of the towns, they have one what do you call Haven, and the other one is called Recluse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. I didn't expect that. So right. Uh, so Kaz initially tries to not join them when they decide to go to Assail, and then he joins them
Hmm.
by lighting a campfire on these stone islands or something,
And the Cape
which
of
are
the Stone
called
Army. Yeah.
petrified soldiers, eternal petrified soldiers. That's what I wrote noted down.
Yeah.
And Shimmer even thinks that is this some kind of, is he trying to like warn us by hanging out here and waiting for us at this particular place? She does, yeah.
Mm.
What? Am I being perceptive?
Presumably.
Right. Okay. So let's see. So this is what I don't have any big hopes for the A word. So they're all going to get eternally petrified and they're probably going to stand in the water and who knows.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Everything has to go wrong. We can't have nice things in this world.
You tell me now Assail has a happy ending and we're all going to laugh in the next episode. Just tell me that.
I don't know if we're gonna laugh, but it's not like a depressing ending.
Right. Okay.
You'll see. You'll see.
I'll see. Yeah. So anything more in the ships, in the navigation, in the ship wars?
Um, I mean, the way the Malazans essentially like blew up the whole tower with
Yeah.
munitions, which by the way, those munitions are the one they stole from like the Imperial Arsenal at Junta, if you
Oh,
recall.
yes. Yeah. I did not
That was the
connect
rag
it.
stopper.
Yeah. Yeah. True, true. Yeah.
So they're using the stolen munitions to blow up an entire tower in like a sail. So
Yeah.
that's going on. That's happening.
Yeah, they're all surprised, isn't it? How are these guys carrying cussers and all that on the open seas? So, yeah, that was
On the
fun.
open seas on a ship, it's more rags than wood. Carthering.
There's a lesson for you.
Yeah, I mean, like the crusts are just fucking crazy.
Oh God, Urko died, isn't it?
No, he didn't die. He disappeared again.
Okay, yeah. So we don't know. So at least Kartharon didn't die. I was almost, a good thing he recovered. I thought he was gone. So what else do you want to talk about?
Well, there's Kyle and there's Jethus. Who do you want to tackle first?
We might as well finish Jethis.
All right. So Fisher's back.
Unpleasant things first. So, oh yeah. So once more, just like the sea people, we have three gangs on the land also. There's a Jenabakan mercenary company.
Mm-hmm.
There are a Malazan ex-veterans, along with this Grecian aristocrat lady, and who
And
else
there's
is there in the
Marshall
third one?
Teal of Leather.
Yeah, of leather. Yeah. So Marshall Teal. There is no such post called Marshall in, in the leathery army, but then he calls himself the Marshall. And so these three people have decided to join up and go find gold.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the real reason the Malazans are there. They are there doing their cartography business. They're going to go back with these secret maps and try to sell them to the merciful emperor or somewhere. Who knows? So they have their own agenda and they're all going together. And Fisher has been hired by this lady to, I don't know, sing songs and stuff. I'm not sure. Why is he hired?
Well, for one, as Fisher says to Brood, knows you know how he feels about witnessing things.
Okay.
And the other thing is he demonstrated sufficient knowledge to impress Holden of Khan, who is the regional expert, for instance.
Okay. But Fisher is from these lands. Like he knows the Heel brothers, so but he's hiding it, isn't it? He doesn't let them know that he's from this place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He does mention he thinks that the Salt Range, I think, looks similar as it did when he grew up here.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. This is his place. This is his hometown, and I don't know why he's hiding it from everyone. And even in the beginning chapters, when he's sitting in the bar and all that, they basically lock and burn the whole bar, isn't it? It's it's like hardly mentioned on page. But yeah, he thinks to himself, isn't it? These fellows think I'm a foreigner here and all that. So he's not a foreigner. He's from that place.
And then he talks to a child and you don't look funny. Fuck.
Yeah. So he because the child comes and takes him to find a mystery stranger, midnight skin and midnight hair with streaks of white, who thrashes in his sleep when this guy plays Anomandaris, and who can very easily channel elemental dark and destroy like a I don't know a bone dragon out of nowhere.
A bone
Yeah.
right.
So and this guy's name is Jethis. That's it.
Yep.
We are not going to speculate on this.
That's it?
I am not going to
You're
speculate
not
on
going
this.
to speculate on this.
No, I gave up long back.
Why are you not going to speculate on this?
It's rake. All the hints are saying it's rake, but it can't be rake. So, you know what? I'm just going to say it's Draconis. Let's do that.
Hey. Sure.
No, no. I really don't know. Why can't it just be some random tie standy? Why can't it just be somebody?
what I
Or
said.
maybe it's Nimander. Maybe Nimander fell into the sea, and that's why he responds to the Anomandaris song and all that. Could be,
Could
or could be any of his other children from Drift Valley who fell into the sea. Why not? And it's his children. They might have white hair.
Mm-hmm.
What? Okay, why don't you speculate for a bit? Because I know that nobody knows who is Jethis, isn't it? I know that even at the end we don't really find out.
It is pretty evidently hinted at who it's supposed to be. So
Rake.
I didn't say that. I said there's a very big hint as to who Jethis is supposed to be.
Which is just sleeping and listening to Anomandaris and thrashing about. Is
It's
that a big
it's
hint?
way bigger. It's way bigger than that. You'll basically know who it is.
Right. So yeah. So this is what I said. We are
But
not going to
to
speculate.
be
on
fair, side note on Jethus, you mentioned that he could be anyone, and that's kind of the point
that. Oh,
because everyone is obsessed with who is Jethus? Okay, why is Jethus important? And the whole point of Jethus' story is that he could literally be anyone.
mm-hmm.
Because what matters isn't who he was, but who he is. But we'll get to that later.
Right. Right. But yeah. Oh, and he even says all this nonsense about. I remember something about a sword and all that. That was all a bit too heavy-handed. That's why I don't say that. It can't be Rake.
Oh no, it can't be
These
Rake.
are just
What self-respecting Andy would think about a sword? Oh god, it must be Rake. Yeah, okay. Fine.
Right. So that was Jethis, and so now basically Fisher, Jethis, and who else is there with them? The
Badlands and Coots,
Lost
the
Brothers.
Lost Brothers.
Can I just tell you that I thought the Lost Brothers was just a title they gave to themselves. I did not know that their clan was
I
called
think
Lost.
everyone thought this. I think like even the guard thought this.
So yeah, their clan is lost, and that's why they're called the Lost Brothers. And it's
Yeah.
Cootlands lost, Stalker lost, and all that. Right. So
Mhm.
where is Stalker stuck? These guys are
Stalker
afraid of him, isn't it?
Stalker is like the patriarch, so he's back home in the hold, the lost hold,
Okay. Okay.
and he kicked them out, kinda. They're not particularly interested in going back yet,
Yeah.
and they're
Yeah.
like, "Will you come with us to help us to talk to Stalker?"
Yeah. Yeah. So that was fun. Badlands and Coot.
So there's a Teal, Marshal Teal of Leather, who is surprisingly not a terrible person for Eleutheri. Like he's not, you know,
I
he
mean,
does
he's
hold.
calling himself a marshal, so he need not be a real lechery.
Maybe that's true. Maybe he's, as most Eleutheri are, like obsessed with contracts. Like every contract must be signed like before witnesses.
Oh
But
yeah, yeah,
he does uphold like a certain discipline to his 40 men.
yeah.
How do you say that? How do you say the grizzly
That's
noblewoman?
why, see, cleverly I never said the name. Say whatever you
Excellent.
want.
Okay, I think I called her
Mal,
Malay, but
Malay. Fine, yeah. Let's
I
say
think
Malay.
Mal might be the right way to pronounce it. Anyway,
Yeah.
she has brought two mages along, Holden of Khan, who is the Claw, conveniently,
Hmm.
and Alka of Cat, who is a mage of Telas, and Stubb, Sergeant Stubb,
Who's Stub?
one of he calls himself a sergeant, and one of the veterans in Mal's squad, who Fisher basically says that this guy is not a fucking soldier. This guy's trained to kill.
Hmm.
Um, and they kit dresses out in full Malazan kit, so he just looks like a Malazan trooper.
Yeah.
It's quite great. And you mentioned earlier that they're here for cartography business
Yeah.
because they're not here only for the gold. They have like Fisher at some point like finds Holden like counting his steps.
Counting steps. Yeah, yeah.
It's like, yeah, okay, well, cool. I wonder what they're up to. Beyond that, there's like also Engulf the Broad, which is a great name.
Hmm.
I name like the Broad, who is a pirate by profession, and so all his men are basically pigs. Excellent, great, nice.
At the start, they start rebelling because they're not allowed to rape and loot all the
Yeah,
villages they pass. So,
yeah.
yeah, tough times for them.
Woe is them. Anyway, do you have anything else to add on the endeavors of Fisher and Jethus and the boys?
I was happy that Fisher had an instrument with him, which broke, and then he says, I broke my neck and all that. Like,
Yeah.
that's how you would expect a musician to talk, isn't it?
I recall very specifically that there's a particular like monologue which he's having about he's like idly strumming and thinking about what to do with it, and like Jethus would compliment his music, and he also
Yeah.
says that the Malazans also had a fair share of comments about his instrument, and not one of them was about the quality of the music, but more so where they would put the instrument itself, which was
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Well, the banter in this book is quite elevated, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is getting funnier, isn't it? Because we saw that in Blood and Bone.
Hmm.
That was hilarious, isn't it? With Golan and Thorn, I still can't stop laughing, and the humor just continues even here. So this is good fun.
Which brings us to Kyle.
Yeah, I'll wait. Go ahead and tell me everything you want about Kyle and Leanne. And
I don't have anything to say about Kyle and Leon without, just go on. Tell me what you think of them.
no, so Kyle was fine. So he starts jogging, which is all which is I don't know how many marathons he would have run by now. But he starts jogging from wherever he escaped from the ship, and he meets up with Leanne, who's a shield maiden. Are we supposed to know what a shield maiden is?
Not real. They're bodyguards
Yeah,
slash
I
heavy
mean,
infantry. That's it.
because like the storm guard is something we've heard the name, but shield maiden I've not heard it before. So haven't we have? No.
No, 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 no.
Yeah. So she's a shield maiden with the king in exile who's a small child called Doran.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll not talk about Doran. So yeah, so this child gets hurt, and then Kyle lets him go away, to save the boy, and he decides to keep jogging behind them. And what else does Kyle do? Oh yeah, oh god, oh the whole thing with the sequence with meeting the silent people, meeting the tribes, fighting, having a duel, taking their knife, then keep jogging, fight again, take one more knife. That whole thing, yeah, it got tiring after a bit.
Did it?
Yeah, Yeah, pretty soon he gets ambushed and all that, and then the last duel was very good. The one when he gets like time, isn't it? He gets two days time to recover, and then they fight. That was good to read because I don't know. I just like the way Cam writes these one-on-one fights and all that. Battles also and one-on-one fights also. They're all fun to read.
Hmm.
Did you like it? I thought you liked all the getting
I
extra
mean,
weapons and keep running and all
yeah,
that.
yeah. So I think part of the point is it's supposed to be tiring. Like, just let him go. He's killed basically everyone you've sent to fight him. He is clearly not interested in fighting you. Stop trying to kill him.
Yeah.
But part of the point is that this is their tradition. This is how the tribes are. This is what they do. It's about their honor. It's about their land. They're very what's the word? Territorial.
Yeah.
And Kyle and Leanne and Dorian are trespassing their lands, and so they must be challenged. And then like first guy comes along who asks Kyle to deliver his name to the ancestors in Joggenholm,
Yeah.
and they fight and they duel, and he almost kills him because he's a much better knife fighter than Kyle was expecting. And then Kyle just slices him open with a ostrich
Whiteblade.
sword. Yeah, Whiteblade. And then he has two weapons. Rather, three weapons. The first weapon was the one he cut off a guy's
Yeah.
hand because he ambushed him. So he grabs his knife, which is his by right now because he won it in the duel.
Yeah.
So everything is sort of like ritualistic, or this there is an element of tribal warfare, which is more so kind of like the Barcast, which they have their champions duel one another, and from
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
on, like the fate of the tribes are decided. So that's a bit expounded upon more so than just they're bloodthirsty idiots that just want to die. No, it's because they're territorial and Kyle is trespassing on their land and killing their peoples. So in order for this to stop, Kyle needs to partake of the ritual himself. So he goes to the elders of the clan and says, "You will let me drink. I will take
Yeah.
your names to the ancestors, and only then will I allow you to challenge me." And so like Willow does, and they fight. The
Oh, yeah.
what you said, the one-on-one which you liked. But what I really liked was when he got ambushed by the two girls,
Yeah. The
and
twins. Yeah.
then like Leanne just comes along and like couldn't take on two girls. It's like, well, I had them. They were all over you. I didn't want to kill them. Bullshit. Just like the banter between, and then when he's trying to warn off like a troop of slavers from Kurzan, she's like, "Well, that went well," and just Kyle just keeps his head down, just motions her along. Well, your
Yeah.
expert
Yeah.
diplomacy skills are working again, making friends all over the region. Like, just excellent banter. I really like the banter in this book.
Yeah. Yeah. Vegan is good.
And you said you're tired, and it's not just you; it's also Kyle that at that point is tired of being challenged that for every fucking day he walks through this place. Stop! I don't want to kill any more people. I just want to be done with this.
Yeah. Yeah. That is conveyed true. It is a bit tiring, and he really doesn't want to do it, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So, so that was Kyle. I hope they both meet up again and go back to Genebacchus and make him the king again, somewhere in northeastern Genebacchus.
Mm-hmm.
I hope Kyle has a good ending here. I hope that's the happy part of the ending of this book.
Maybe
So, where exactly is Kyle headed now? He's still going
north.
north.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's going north. So instead of winter is coming, all these guys are going towards winter. What? What? You can't just react like that. You have to talk.
Right.
Yeah.
Just for
So
the record, for posterity, Mora was very pleased with that joke.
I'm pleased with all the jokes I make.
Yes, of course you are.
I can't trust people to laugh at them. So
Right,
right.
right.
I think it's time we talked about the boar's tooth,
Hmm.
swall, whatever. What's the
Svalsbrul.
spear? Yeah, I'm not saying that. It's boar's tooth.
Svalsbrul. Right.
I think you're very happy you're able to say that, isn't it?
I mean,
For
you
some
had
reason you
you
like
had
it.
your book, which was like Eastern influenced. Assail is very much so influenced, or it seems not necessarily, but it seems that it's influenced quite a bit by like Scandinavian and Norse legends and
Yeah, yeah.
mythologies. So
You know what? I wanted to tell this because Cam writes atmospheric things so well,
hmm
and I'm so happy he's like playing to his strength and concentrating an entire book on Himatan, and now he's concentrating an entire book on these snow-covered mountains and stuff. Which is I don't know. I'm just enjoying it so much. This change of location it just adds to the stories.
yep.
I think if he wrote a Seven Cities book, I might enjoy that continent too, which is my least favorite continent.
Really?
I mean, it's hot and dusty, and like where I live now.
Oh yeah, I guess so. In that regard, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Books like this, when they talk about snow and stuff, I feel very happy. These are the types of books I want to read. So, right, Orman, that's his name, isn't it? Orman
Mm-hmm.
Bergen's son.
Orman of Bregin's son.
Bregin, sir, right. So, he finds out that he has a half brother who is half ice blood,
Mm-hmm.
Jazz. And yeah, I don't know. They become very friendly and all that. And he swears to serve the Sayers, the Sayer hold. Yeah, and Jazz, who was sent along with them to defend their hold against. That was a different group of veterans, isn't it? Who fight them? Some
Mm-hmm.
other group, right? So
Mm-hmm.
they fight them, and Jazz is not able to kill anyone, and that was a very idiotic thing that they come back and he is immediately sent away. You have to go kill somebody and
Yeah.
only then return to the house and all that. And he very naturally he gets captured by the Bane guy, whom you see in the first chapter or something. I'm not saying that name either. So
Lord
that's
G.
L Bane.
Elbane. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, right. So he captures him and he threatens Orman. And Orman, being the ultimate fool, he gives up the spear, gets himself hanged, and I don't know. It ends there. Like somebody saves him. I forgot who saves him.
Cal does.
Who?
Cal. He introduces himself as
Cal.
Cal.
Yeah, yeah. Cal, who is a high sword from what's the place?
The
The
Losts, I
other
think.
hold. What?
He's a higher sword to the Losts. Yes, I think.
So yeah, he says something like the Banes are going to be attacked,
Yeah.
and we can all fight them together. Yeah, he's with the Losts. Yeah, and Ormond loses an eye,
Yep.
just like Old Bear. Poor thing. So that's what we learned about Boar's Tooth, the spear.
Mm-hmm.
That has a different type of a spear, and the ghosts also carry similar spears. So it's a jagged spear, right?
I don't
Has
know.
to be. Yeah, has to be.
Maybe. Yeah. So since you said the ice bloods report jagged, right? They're watered down, jagged. And one thing we know of the jagged is that they're like by design, by nature, very solitary. It follows very naturally that the ice bloods are also going to be fairly solitary, and it shows because there's like what, like 5 sayers total.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
the entire holding is run by like 5 people.
one thing that's quite interesting is the lower down you go, the more people are ice bloods to you, right? So Orman considers anyone that lives like near the coast as like a lowlander,
Yeah.
and anyone to the north as an ice blood, which to the ice bloods, Orman is a lowlander. Perhaps to like if you put someone like some foreigner like Marshall Teal or like Mile or not Fisher. Fisher would know. I don't know, like the child that we saw earlier in like the bar, for instance. They would probably see Orman and think that guy's nice blood. So the further north you go, the more
Orman is where is Orman from?
he's
He's
somewhere
from near
like
this.
not
Is he
near the
like midway
sea.
in the map? Like,
Yeah, he's probably like close to the mountains, not on the
so he's
mountain, but close enough.
right.
He's near the
Oh,
holdings, not near the border of the holdings.
so he's like a watered ice blood.
Uh, there is a mention that when he's like in the cold, he feels more like at home, more at peace, more. He starts running in the cold, and he's like, "Yeah, this is much better. This is it."
I mean, to me, it seems like fine, isn't it? Like, rather than running in a desert, wouldn't you rather run in a cold weather place?
No,
I don't know. It made sense. I didn't think it was anything odd.
sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Are we running out of things to? It's a small book, so yeah, it's fine.
and so one thing there is to note further about the Ice Bloods as a whole is they're very tradition driven. There's also the Eighth Jar, the ghosts of the
Oh, is that how you
Ice
say
Bloods.
it? Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah.
So
You know what they remind me of?
the Brethren.
Yeah, yeah. It's a nice communication system, isn't it? When you don't have cell phones, you can just send a message through these guys.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah,
Which raises the interesting point of if these guys are here,
yeah,
why
yeah.
aren't they
Go on.
moving on to Hood's realm?
Because again, this is all within Omtos Falak, isn't it? Just like Lethras was sealed up, this place was also sealed up. Assail was also sealed up. That's all.
By whom?
By these same, by that lady in the Tower of Ice. Yeah, Elsa. She's the one who's going
Yeah,
to seal it.
sure.
And that's because of the Folklore Assail who are, to stop them from going out into the world. That's the reason. Why do I even need to read the rest of this book? Yeah.
You have everything figured out by chapter 7. Just please, just stop right here. It's fine. You figured everything out. You know exactly what's going on in this book. There's no need to read further. You guessed Jethus was like some random Andy, like some like
You know what?
Elsa created the barrier of Omtos. The guard is just like going. What did you say the guard was?
Can you stop? No, I said the guard are like the Tlanimas or no. In this book, I'm guessing they are the petrified soldiers. So they're going to become
Oh right,
stone
yeah.
islands.
They're the Stone Islands. Yeah. So
Yeah,
you know, yeah. There's no point reading further. It's fine. We can just call it quits here. We're done. You know.
this is not fair. Right. Yeah. So I'll just read it to just to confirm that I got everything right. Just to make sure. Just to make sure that Cam didn't get anything wrong. I should cut all this shit out.
Just have like a checklist and be like, "Hello, sir, you did not include this."
Yeah.
Anyway, I was saying at any rate about the eighth chart and how we mentioned already that they're not moving on because of Umdos Falak essentially barring off the gates of death. There's also the Sea of Dread, in which and how Eileen, I think we'll land on Eileen, like had certain visions and was like feverish while within the confines of the Sea of Dread, and then Timmel has to step up to get him out. And she says that what she has been feeling, what she has been dreaming about, is like ancient rotting ice.
Yeah.
There's also you mentioned earlier how the ice bloods look like jagged. How there's like the matriarch, I don't know.
You might as well say Elsa. Go on.
Not Elsa. The matriarch of the
Yrain. Yeah. Go
sure
on.
that one right. Urain, whatever. Urain. I don't know.
You reign, I reign, everyone reigns. Yeah.
Hilarious. So
Next
God damn it.
audition, casting call. People who can laugh. People who can just laugh at,
I'm sorry.
who have low standards for laughing at jokes. That's going to be my casting call. Yeah.
Fine. I'm sorry.
Yeah. The matriarch,
She was
Irain.
you mentioned that she was looking kind of olive, which you
Yeah.
prefer to be green. They have canines, prominent canines, and tusks.
Yeah.
Tusks is only Ostrix, not them. Only Ostrix has tusks.
Yeah. What about Yrain? What happened to her?
No, I'm just saying that you mentioned that she has like a pale olive skin and stuff, and they're basically all descendants of dragon in some way, and so they're strongly traditional bound, unlike other conventional humans in this world. They are the people in the south are very territorial. The Ice Bloods are extremely territorial from what we've seen. They've been feuding with one another for years. They're very solitary too. I mean, not Stalker. Badlands and Coots are literally in the cave for like months because they don't want to go home. Levels of solitary.
I mean, they have dried bat to eat, so why would they go home?
Exactly. They know what's good for them. And yeah, that's basically it. So one last point I want to touch upon before we maybe close up is one common criticism of Assail that I hear is that it fails to deliver on the hype that was built up about Assail from the Book of the Fallen, more so on Silverfox's storyline.
Mm-hmm.
And to them I say,
Should I have my cut button ready
So-
to cut this?
Lanas in Memories of Ice approaches Silverfox to say that they have lost the war
God.
in 8 months of battle with like 40,000 dead IMAS against humans. Why are you expecting a war to be ongoing when they clearly state that they have lost the war?
Go on.
Moreover, one problem people have is like Silverfox is being very callous, I guess. Like, she gives them a choice that you're either going to be with me or I'm going to kill you, which is okay, yeah. But
I mean,
yeah,
no. Go on. I'm just saying that even though they had a strict ritual and they vowed to kill all the jagged, they have now come into the gray areas, isn't it? Between what you consider a jagged and what you consider a non-jagged. And it's really interesting because the prologue sets it up very nicely. When Pran says that they are out of the ritual, we consider them out of the ritual.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy says, the Kurlum say, we do not consider it that way, and they start fighting. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that was really interesting because, yeah, sorry, you were saying.
Uh, no, one more thing is we mentioned like Tolb Belal, the Kerlum Bonecaster, appeared
Yeah,
in Jacuruku before Kaz in Blood and
yeah.
Bone, so that's interesting. He's there.
Can I say that him and Bran, each time they follow Silverfox and then they have this small aside, I'm really done with that. I don't I don't know, and I don't know what they're talking about, and it's I don't like it. Each time they say, "Will she do this? What about you? Yeah, yeah, let's do this something." It's very conspiratorial and something secret they're talking, and I don't understand it. And it happens each after each village. So
Really?
I mean, I'm sure you understand it perfectly, and so it
It's not that I
sounds.
understand it perfectly. I don't think there's anything cryptic here. It's just like we're going north. Okay, well,
Will she
and
stand with us in the north? Who is the she?
Kilava.
Fine. Okay. Right. All right.
I mean, what
Yeah.
else could
Yeah.
it be? Why would they talk like that about Silverfox?
Why not? Because they're not talking with her. They're talking away from her without her knowledge. They're like whispering to each other after she leaves. So it could be anyone.
They did talk like which is interesting in that she says that like her horse is spent and they need to get her a new horse,
We
and
need to
they
keep
just step
sustaining
aside
it
and
and
we
all.
need to keep sustaining the horse. So
Yeah.
yeah, they're clearly working behind her back, but it's
So
not.
so it could easily be Silver Fox, and
It could
because
easily
you
be
read the book and
Silverfox,
you can just
and
point out and
because
say,
I
yeah,
read the
yeah, they're
book,
talking about Kilava.
yes, obviously, because I read the book.
So I found it a bit too cryptic, as usual. So it's fine.
Oh,
Um,
look at me! I read Malazan. I don't like hand holding, but this is too cryptic and vague for me. Look at me. I'm sorry.
it's fine. It's
No, look,
fine.
to be fair, I think this is a common criticism of Assail that I've seen before. It's like withholding information from the reader purposefully, especially in Silverfox's parts, which I haven't really noticed that happen, I guess. Like, they're going north. They're
Yeah,
chasing after Lanas. There isn't a much deeper point to be made here. They're just going after Lanas, and Lanas is slaughtering every village because they're all jagged descendants or the like, and they're
yeah,
trying to stop
yeah.
them.
But even that these two fellows find a way to whisper something and discuss something vague.
And why is that a problem?
It's not a problem. I just don't like it because it's I, too cryptic for me.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
So I have a question because we recently finished Memories of Ice, and we know that Silver Fox was created to be the living bone caster, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Kilava is another living flesh and blood bone caster.
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't she the summoner? Because she wouldn't do it?
Well, see here.
I'm seeing, yeah.
There's that. That's the one thing. The other thing is like she needs. It's not like you declare that the flesh and blood bone catcher is the summoner. It's like a specific ritual that they undertook to create Silverfox to be the summoner. It's not like, oh yeah, she's flesh and blood, grab her and make her the summoner. If Kilava could release everyone from the ritual, she wouldn't have to kill her entire kin so they don't partake of the ritual. For that matter, is she such a callous? Well, no. Kilava is definitely such a callous bitch to not release Honos if she could. But, if she could probably just release Honos Tulan from the ritual immediately and just peace out with her brother. But she doesn't do that because I don't think she can.
No, I thought it was like they needed a flesh and blood bone caster in order to become the summoner. So, yeah, I just
Um,
think that probably Kilava is a
I
non
think
cooperative bone caster. So,
there's like more than a few. Well, there were across the years more than a few flesh and blood bone casters that they could have used,
mm-hmm.
like Nomkala, for instance.
Who?
Dust of Dreams. Don't worry, we'll get there. And but it's much more special. Like the summoner is a flesh and blood bone caster. A flesh and blood bone caster is not necessarily the summoner. I think is how it goes.
Okay.
So that's why. But yeah, I
Uh,
think Kilava will probably not cooperate anyway. I think just tell him to go fuck themselves and just continue
yeah, I
going
mean,
on her merry way.
so the fourth mist has a lady mist
Yeah.
who fights with mist. That's her weapon, isn't it? Oh, that was fun. And her two sons are, anger and wrath. So
Hmm.
I wasn't expecting that, there would be a lady mist there. So I think you like that.
If we can have Elsa, why not Mist?
Yeah, yeah, why not? And then,
Well,
she uses mist to fight with them. So,
yeah,
right. I think we have covered everything from the first 7 chapters.
I think so. Yeah.
No, it's just one guy who's died. Tulan is dead, the captain.
Yeah, that's true. So
Right.
if I what is your favorite storyline so far, except for Simmer and Bars, because always love.
Uh, even though I'm annoyed, I think Fisher and Jethis. I want to see where that story is going.
Mm, interesting.
And yeah, everything to do with the holdings, the Orman and all and Old Bear. I want to see more of Old Bear.
Who is the
He was a
shapeshifter? Yeah.
shapeshifter. Yeah, yeah. I was not expecting that. Yeah, and they say he's the last one there. So
Mm-hmm.
poor fellow.
And there's the whole the joke about how hairy he is all the time, so they can't
Oh God.
discern if
Yeah,
he's
yeah. Oh,
if he's actually a bear or not at any given time. And like
yeah.
the only way he can Orman can discern him from the dogs by the color of their pelts.
But from the dog, sorry.
When old bear sleeps, two dogs come to cuddle with him, and the
Yeah,
only
yeah, yeah.
way
He
Orman
can't
can
make out.
discern
Yeah,
which is which
yeah,
is from the color of the pelts. And how when they wash him, they take great pleasure in it because and they're planning to shave him, and then
oh,
like the serving lady comes along, and he's like twice as hairy from the waist down.
yeah, yeah. I like all that. Yeah. So yeah, we need more of Old Bear and his friends and the two Redin brothers. Yeah, I like those two. They remind me of the way the Segule are. They don't talk anything, and they're very good at their sword fighting and all that.
Hmm.
But they're much more like the renegades because they have a sense of humor.
They're very tongue in cheek. They're very like you know, we
Yeah,
could tell you who we are, but we're not going to because it's funny this way.
yeah. So it's a great book. So it's going well, and
Hmm.
you're going to finish it fast,
Probably.
right? And come back
Yeah.
here. Should we wind up? This is a
Yeah.
short episode.
Yeah. Sure.
So thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed our discussion, quote unquote discussions. Sorry. So thank you, Lee. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mora.
Yeah. So I hope you get well soon before we record the next one.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good night.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.